Now let's talk about the nervous system. The nervous system. So the nervous system helps us in daily activities that we are doing in life. All right. But its main job is to carry out information. Its main job is to give out information to all parts of the body. So what the body needs, that is what the nervous system will do for the body. All right. So in the nervous system, you can hear something called nerves. Nerves. So the nervous system uses something called the nerves. The nerves in carrying out its instructions. So if it wants to tell the hand to, write, it uses the nerves. It sends the information through the nerves for the hand to, respond. All right. So with the nervous system, we are having demarcations of the nervous system. And the demarcation, we are having two main demarcations, whereby we are having the CNS and then the PNS. The CNS has got to do with the central nervous system. When we say something is central, meaning it is the main man, it is the main worker. So if that one is not there, you cannot do anything. So let's take it like you are at home with your parents. So if your mommy is not there, you cannot cook for yourself. So if your mommy is not there, meaning the main man, the central woman is not there, you cannot cook. So you cannot do anything for yourself. The same thing, your parents give you money for doing some small things. So if your parents are not there, you cannot give yourself money. Yes, that is the central nervous system. So in the body, we are having the central one, the main one that do those things, that will initiate the information, and that will tell the body what to do. These are called the central nervous system, the main people. Then we also have the PNS. The PNS is the peripheral nervous system. So in the peripheral nervous system, meaning that these ones, they are there, but they're not necessarily parts. Meaning that if they are not there, still the information, everything can go on, or they can be processed. Yes, let me put it in that way. They can be processed. All right. So let's take your mommy and you as an example again. So if you are not there, your mommy still can cook. Just that if you are there, your mommy will tell you to go and your mommy will send you to go and bring something like the salt and the lights. Yes, so you being the child, you become the peripheral nervous system. You become a subordinate. If you are not there, your mommy still can go for what she wants. Yes, let's use another example. We are using the phone for an example. The phone, without the battery, let's say the battery, your phone cannot switch on. But without a memory card, your phone can still work normal. Yes, so the memory card becomes the peripheral nervous system, then your battery becomes the central nervous system. All right, so under central nervous system, we're having the two main types, and the two main types are the brain and the spinal cord. So it is these guys that will process the information, they will take the information by the help of the nerves. They will take the information, they will process it, then they give the instruction to all parts of the body. Then when this brain takes the information to process it, then giving it to all parts of the body, it will pass through this spinal cord. All right, so let's take it like this. This is our brain over here. This is our brain over here. And this is our spinal cord over here. All right, so the brain will take the information, it will process the information, then it passes through the spinal cord. But the spinal cord can be located around this place. All right, so let's take it, we are having our hand over here. We are having our hands over here. We are having our legs over here. Okay, so this is the spinal cord. The spinal cord is over here. So how will information get to these parts? That is when the PNS comes in. So the PNS serves as a bridge between these ones and these guys. So between these ones and these guys, the other organs, So when the hands want to take something, it is this PNS. It is this PNS that will help you to contract and take that thing. All right. So under the PNS, we are having two main ones. We are having the somatic, and then autonomic. So whenever you hear soma means body. So in the body, we are having some parts of the body that you can control, So it is voluntary, just like the hands, just like the mouth, just like I can nod my head like this. I can move my legs. Yes. So we call them somatic body parts. Yes. So under the PNS, there are some things that I can control. All right. So things that I can control. Let's say this is my hand. So if my hand wants to, slap someone, if my hand wants to slap somebody, the information will come from the brain. Then it will pass through the spinal cord. Then when it is passing through the spinal cord, the peripheral nerves and the peripheral nerves and the somatic will collect the information from the spinal cord. Then it will give to the hand. That is when I can move my hand. So that is for the somatic. Then move on to the autonomic. The autonomic is for those that you don't have awareness of. In the body, you're having some parts of the body that you cannot control. It does its own work. Example like the heart. Example like the lungs. All right. So these things you don't have control of. So they are called the autonomic parts. So with these ones, let's say our lungs is over here. Our heart is over here. This is the brain, this is the spinal cord. It is the help of this PNS which will collect the information from the brain through the spinal cord. Then it gets to the lungs for the lungs to inflate and also deflate. That is the autonomic nervous system. So now let's move on to the somatic. We are having two main demarcations under somatic, as I explained earlier on. With the somatic, something needs to take the information, then it goes to the brain, then the brain needs to interpret, then also it brings the information back to the body part that needs or that requested for the information. So the part of the nerves that takes information from the body to the brain, we call them sensory. So they sense. Then also the part of the nerves that takes information from the brain to the parts of the body that requested for that information, we call them motor. So we are having sensory and also we are having motor. Then under the autonomic, it has also been demarcated into two. So we are having one which is sympathetic. Then the next one is parasympathetic. So sympathetic means sympathizes for you. It sympathizes for you. So in my previous video, I did the alpha and then the beta receptors. You can check that one. So with a sympathetic, meaning if let's say you are in a room and you see maybe a snake, it's either you run away from the snake or it's either you kill the snake. So it is the help of this sympathetic autonomic nervous system that will help you to do these things. Yes. Then also with the parasympathetic, since maybe you run away from that place, but you cannot run for the rest of your life. So it is the help of this parasympathetic to calm you down. So the parasympathetic helps as a calming effect, while the sympathetic system helps you in raising the effects of the body. So this is an overview of the nervous system. This is an overview of the nervous system, the CNS, the PNS, their demarcation, and what they really do in the body. Thank you. Bye-bye.